This is Illuminati. And this is Underground World News Live. Welcome everybody out there to the show. Shout outs to everybody out there in the chat. I'm joined with whom it may, ToBeFree, Chico, Mike, and Casey. How you guys doing this evening?
What's up, brother?
Good. Yeah, we've obviously got a lot of tense things going on. A bunch of different fronts across the globe. We're going to talk about a few different things here. And I'm going to start off with what's going on with this transit situation. There was speculation that there was an active shooter or maybe two different events. It was being reported. Now they're saying there was no active shooter. I'm going to try to share a clip here real quick so you guys can see what's going on with this. A lot of panic from this. And that's just a quick look there at what was going on there at Penn Station with the chaos. It looks like at this point, Dave, did you say they had two people in custody or something? Somebody say something about that?
Yeah, apparently Eric was talking about that before he had to step out. But yeah, apparently the police were making an arrest and there was possibly a taser activation or something, and everybody panicked and started running. There was no shots fired from the reports that we're getting. Also, too, there was reports of possibly something in a trash can that made a noise. Basically, it was a noise, and there was a panic. And also, too, at Macy's in Manhattan, NYC, there was false reports of a shooter, but they turned out to be false. But there was also a panic there as well.
All right. Well, that's a good summary of recent events. What was going on up there? You know, there's been a lot of activity as far as military movements concerned. I see somebody just said something about a small quake that hit in South Korea here within the past couple of hours. I don't see nothing on the earthquake maps at the moment. Somebody's got a link to something, just let me know. I'll look into that further. We are watching those earthquake maps just in case we see a shallow 4 to 5 magnitude quake hit in North Korea. That's a signal that they did pull off some sort of test. But with what the U.S. has been saying, they're not going to allow them to do that. Basically, they see them reach for the trigger. They're saying that they're going to take them out. Man, this Korean central television station is now live. They're starting their celebration over in North Korea today for the Day of the Sun. And I tell you what, the chat over there, anybody that's watching that page, is just spinning off the reel. I'm going to keep an eye on that. If we see anything go down, I'll let you know. But there is a link in the description box here as well. Now, Eric was telling me this incident is separate. The New Jersey Transit malfunction trapped 1,200 commuters on a train heading into Penn Station. So not only did you have the panic of two different situations that were at first thought to be active shooter, but checked out not to be, but you had a train malfunction that trapped 1,200 people. They caused chaos and panic there. So you have multiple events that has popped off that's had people in a panic or hysteria, to say the least. And yeah, if you guys get any other breaking updates on any of those things, just let me know.
Yeah, no problem. I'm watching.
I've got a good story here for those of you out there interested in what's going on here on the world stage. Those of you that follow me on the regular, you know, we always expose and talk about George Soros's mischief across the globe, everything that he's pulling off, and he's never ever put in jail. Well, we've uncovered new ties to Donald Trump's son-in-law, Mr. 666 Fifth Avenue, Jared Kushner, has got $250 million from George Soros. So we have George Soros backing hundreds of millions of dollars, Jared Kushner. I mean, it's a connection straight to him. So look at everything that Trump is tasking Kushner with doing and everything else. And now look that he's getting money from Soros and Trump. So you don't think that Trump and Soros haven't been in the business room? You better think again. Because I guarantee you they have. And it's all behind the scenes. So Kushner, key here, getting funded from multi-billionaires, the position that he's in. And I think it's key to note that George Soros is involved here. I mean, don't you guys?
I mean, it's becoming clear. I mean, all the way down to the statues of Apollo. I mean, people think that doesn't mean anything, but that means everything.
Right. And that's the same room that your Zionist Netanyahu stood in there and shook hands with him in that same setting, themed with Apollo. And, you know, they were the first. He was the first one to praise Trump, by the way, as soon as he bombed Syria. And I don't think most people are aware of the fact that there is a greater Israeli project in motion to continue to push and inch their way. And it's not just that situation in terms of Syria. You have Turkey also pushing the border on a daily basis. They're attacking the borders and they're moving them, taking up land. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, this is biblical. This goes back. This fake false Israel that we have. And if you guys heard in the news, they just had the debut of the mother of all bombs. The very first time this ordinance has been dropped in history. What is the mother of all bombs? The acronym is Moab. So I dug into the Moabites, and they descended from Lot. And Lot left Sodom and Gomorrah, where sulfur rained down. And guess what the mother of all bombs is full of? Sulfuric acid, TNT. So basically, this mother of all bombs is the counterpart, the biblical counterpart to the judgment that God rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, this goes deep because that bomb fell just a few days after Nisan 14, the Passover of Christ. And in fact, it fell one day before he would have been resurrected. And this incestuous relationship that Lot had with his daughters, who formed the Moabite nation, ended up being these people who worshiped these gods. The Moabites worshipped Ashtar and Chemosh. Chemosh is Moloch. Ashtar is Easter. And Ashtar means war is coming soon. So these are the roots behind this bomb that was dropped on Afghanistan.
It's interesting. I mean, we've looked back at other ancient stories about bombs being dropped. Look at Mohenjo-Daro, Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that right? It was completely turned to glass, the desert. And the ancient Indian texts talk about massive battles in the heavens and everything else. Massive world war. We think we're on the verge of big world war right now. It seems to me like things have happened in the past that, well, they don't teach you in school. And I don't think there's any other way around it. Them dropping bombs in Afghanistan after hitting Syria, that's two places that's been bombed here recently. And we're mounting up big time outside of North Korea. I know a lot of people wondering what's going to happen. All we can do at this point is kind of watch the situation. I honestly feel if they're stupid enough to send troops out toward these nuclear places, any kind of movement, action whatsoever, it could provoke something. If they think they're really going to do something, I wouldn't be having any activity around anything.
Quick update, guys. There was no quake in South Korea.
Okay. And, that's what you're going to see if they do pull off a test is a quake. It's just a matter of timing here. I hope it doesn't happen. How long do they sit there? How long do our troops and these warships, submarines, everything sit out there? And then what? If they freeze and they do nothing, how long do you sit there?
Well, we know for a fact people are going there.
And I wonder, would they use this MOAB bomb in North Korea? And look at what they just did. They're trying to take down underground facilities. They took out tunnel systems up there, did massive amounts of damage. But man, they have some weapons out here, guys, some tactical nukes and some weapons that some of the clips they show you, they don't do them justice. The explosions that we've seen in Syria, in Ukraine, and in Yemen in the past couple of years have been crazy. Massive explosions, leaving massive mushroom clouds. I didn't see a mushroom cloud come off that MOAB. I seen a big black plume come off, but not the mushroom cloud like I've seen come off some of these other ones. The one in Syria, I think, was like a golden mushroom cloud. Israel hit them with that. Of course, the mainstream news didn't want to talk nothing about it. But I don't know. It's interesting here, man. Connections. I always say it, the world is a stage. I just hope that this isn't lining us up to get hit or something. Next false flag.
Yep.
To blame somebody for something. Go ahead.
Episode number 1. I'm sorry, season 1, episode 5 of Under the Dome. There was it's called Blue on Blue. And in that, the plot goes, a soldier stationed outside the dome. The military is planning an attempt to destroy the dome with a missile, the mother of all bombs, which was likely to kill everybody inside. So they featured this mother of all bombs. And I remember this episode of Under the Dome. They dropped this bomb onto this dome, and it didn't even penetrate it, actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Interesting. You watching this stream, D? This North Korea stream going on right now? It's like they're showing every pretty piece of property they have in North Korea right now.
Yeah, I see the ocean water and everything else right now. The sun rising. It's the day of the sun, so it looks like they're focusing in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, North Korea has stated that they're going to strike U.S. bases in the Asian Pacific and on the South Korean Peninsula. I guess the presidential palace, they've straight up said it. Now, I don't think that they're going to target, realistically, some of the places they're saying. I think they'll go for deep military places. Who knows with North Korea? I mean, be honest with you. There's no telling what these guys will do in response. I mean, they hit him, and he's got one hitting somewhere. Then what? Japan seems to think that he may send out some blistering ballistic missiles at them. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but Japan is in such a state of emergency for a couple of different reasons. Japan is not allowed to go to war offensively. It is written into their constitution that was created after we dropped bombs on them that they could only do certain things. So they're propped up to where they're allowed to, say, help give ammunition, refuel planes, and they can do things like that for like the US if there's something going down that puts the country in jeopardy. If the safety of Japan is at risk, they are allowed per their constitution to militarily make moves through their defensive military group. That's what it's defensive something. DFS, I believe, is what they call it. It's all a defensive posture. They're not allowed to take an offensive posture. So if they were to get blistered with ballistic missiles, some think that they would return fire because the U.S. is based there anyway, and the U.S. could fire from there, and it wouldn't have to be Japan because the U.S. is sitting there. But if they did, they're thinking that this would concern China and Russia because, as far as everyone's concerned, Japan's not allowed to do this. They're not allowed to like mount any massive offensives, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, somebody said, I think Article 9 of Japan. So those things here on this world stage kind of change things. When you know that Japan can't just sit there like other countries hawking to attack like other countries could. So, but I guess it really doesn't matter if you got the United States up in there. They're flying all kinds of massive drills up and down the coast of Japan right now. If you guys were paying attention to the flight radar and the vessel tracking links, you can see that no flights over North Korea. China just cut off, suspended any flights they had with them. Any flights leaving South Korea are going far out and around just to get to Russia. And there was no boats around at all. It's like everybody's avoiding the area, backed off. How long will that last? I mean, realistically, how long do you guys think that something like this could last before we turn our military boats around and we send them home? This Monday, Tuesday, next Monday, Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? Like how long? A week, days? Is there more to it? Will they send in ground troops? A lot of questions, I suppose, but I don't know how you go in here and you attack this dude in North Korea without him launching something. So I almost think that your very first move has to be to strike all their military capability, anywhere that they're going to launch from, anywhere you think they're going to launch, plus a decapitation strike. You have to take him out. Any of his top leadership.
An international blockade seems to be what they're pushing for at the moment. But you're right. The limitations of that physically from all these nations that are pursuing North Korea right now is in question.
I mean, that's a good point. You brought up an international blockade. What does that do? Okay, China just cut off the whole coal thing. They threatened to cut off oil. Now look, if you're North Korea, what do you do here? If they're not willing to give up their nukes, how far will this go? How long will they last without these supplies? If oil's cut off, if they're getting no money from China now from their coal.
I don't even think they have their fishing boats in the water at the moment. Danny Ellis sent me a picture about 3 hours ago of the boat traffic in the waters, and it is just dead. There's not one vessel in the waters off the coast of North Korea, east or west.
In talking about off the coast of Southern California, there has been an ongoing for days now operation. It's not a drill, where we have aircraft searching the waters. This constantly, they've been getting refueled by Omega airliner refuelers that have been going out there refueling them in the air.
Yeah, earlier today there were 3 KC-135s that were all flying simultaneously eastbound to westbound, and the people on Twitter that are monitoring this stuff are saying that's highly unusual. It's definitely weird.
There are weird things going on because there's been no explanation given.
You guys got
The
any
military
theories on it?
Well, a lot of the big theories has been that it's some kind of sub, either take your pick, Chinese, Russian, North Korean, or whatever. That's kind of the theme here. But to me, I've warned about this before. It's what I call the tsunami bomb. You don't have to get up and penetrate our space. You don't have to get into our airspace, just close enough to the coast, off the waterways, with an underwater device, drone, whatever it is. And if you detonate a massive bomb on the ocean floor, just underwater there, the tsunami that it will generate will wipe out all the cities along Southern California. It would take them out in an instant. It would be a tsunami bomb. You wouldn't have to worry. And who knows what kind of effects it would have on fault lines or anything else if they did that. But that's one way to get close to us without penetrating our airspace or actually crossing any lines. They could be out in international waters, you see? And it just depends. I mean, something's got their attention out there, and obviously we want to know, but I don't put nothing past them. These are people that brought down 2 towers in this country. They could have something out there trying to make it look like they're looking for something and then do it and blame it on North Korea. You know?
Exactly.
I mean,
Flag of the ages.
Gulf of Tonkin, we've seen all of it. You know, we don't want to see it again, but I put nothing past them. We know what's coming. You know, on what night are we going to be sitting here doing a show and then, you know, the stuff really does go into motion? It's like inevitable. I don't want to see it. Obviously, I don't want to see none of this stuff, especially bombing Damascus, biblical stuff. If they drop the city, it's always innocent people dying. No secret. As this war machine just keeps going across the globe, this Jesuit Zionist command, they don't care. They don't care. They worship these fallen ones. It's about control. And I think it's about the attention of the people. I think people are becoming more conscious, if you ask me. It's not as many as we like. It's not the full awakening that many of us out here would like to see. But I think the people aren't buying the BS they've been fed for so long anymore. I think it's starting to, I think they're throwing everything they have at it. That's why they're attacking us here in alternative media as well. They see the leverage that we have because it's truth. And they see that people gravitate toward truth and people are gravitating away from their BS. The numbers show. Go ahead. Was you going to say something?
People are getting hip to it. I mean, we're in the digital age where we've lived through several of these presidencies, and they've been more popularized and more televised than ever before in the history of presidencies. And people, believe it or not, even though we're stupider, we're actually smarter at the same time, at least to data entering our brain. And what happens is now you start to see the pattern. You see that all of these puppets are the same. They all lie, and then they all push the same agenda once they're elected. They're all no different. You could stick all of the presidents side by side, going back from Clinton to Obama to Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and then finally Trump, and they've all waged the same war strategy. It's the same exact strategy. And so, and then you watch it all, you look at all of us, and we're all fighting against each other about going to war. And as soon as our president's elected, all of a sudden we turn the other cheek. We act like nothing ever happened because we're so stupid. We keep getting behind the man and the president instead of realizing that they're all the same. And they've got us all.
It's falling for the illusion of an election. The selection, you know what I'm saying? It's all rigged. It's a puppet show until people get that through their head. You can't win the race if you don't have a horse in the race, so to speak.
It's the Muppet Show, man. You know what? Prince, the king of pop, appeared on the Muppet Show, and he popped out of an elevator. Same elevator he died in. That's
crazy. You always get something crazy to bring to the table in regards to something like that.
It's unbelievable.
But it was true. It's true. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's true.
Love in an elevator.
I know a lot of people, I kind of feel the charge in the air. People are anticipating, is something going to happen with North Korea, guys. I don't know. I wouldn't cancel any plans or anything for anything. I'd live life And you can't be stressing all these things. These guys are going to drop bombs. They're going to drop bombs. Something's going to happen. It's going to happen. I say all the time, if you have a plan, you have a plan. So you better have a plan. What are you going to do if they do hit a part of this country, lights go out? I always say, have a plan. We were talking about it earlier. You know, are we really prepared for a lights out situation? Are you? I would be checking your checklist, your supplies. You know, it's funny how things go in waves. There was before the whole election, there was just everybody was gonna stocking up and preparing because not knowing which way was going to Trump wins. And then it was lax. Now we're mounting up for war again, and all of a sudden people are going back into that same phase of preparing. Hopefully, most people are. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. How long do you think that this charade's going to go on around the globe before we get hit? You don't think they don't have a plan against us, the American people? We are the biggest problem they have. Checking us, checking our guns, checking our voice.
Exactly. And if you haven't seen it, look at President Assad's interview. He lays it all out. If you listen to this, you will think you're listening to Underground World News, because he lays it out exactly everything that we've been talking about on this program. He talks about the fake chemical attack. He talks about the fact that the emergency workers that went in after the attack weren't not wearing protective gear, and none of them died or fell out from the toxic gases. There was no chemical attack. He talks about how the United States government are funding ISIS, funding these rebels, and that they had them on the run. Why would they?
Listen,
why would he?
Dude, Trump said it. Trump said Obama created ISIS. He said it. He said it.
Yeah. And Assad
So
said
why ain't he going? Why ain't we going after him? What happened to Hillary for prison? I gotta say it again. What happened to all the people that made a crap ton of money off of Hillary for prison, selling your shirts, your buttons, and everything else? And I don't want to hear the BS excuse. There's not enough time because this guy's done drop bombs in 2 different countries. Not enough time, my ass.
Right.
It's
Bombs no other
turn the
president
cheek.
ever dropped.
Yeah. Who cares about the criminal corruption here in this country? Just keep on pushing. He's flip-flopped on damn near every single thing he said. And what are we about to get? If you ask me, chaos in this country, division. It's what they want. It's the ultimate goal. And I don't like the look of finding out that Soros is backing Kushner with millions. This isn't good at all. I've been trying to tell you people this is a world stage, and I'm hoping as these things happen, people start to put the pieces together and they see it.
Hey, Dabu, is Kushner in Trump's cabinet? Is that his relation other than he's his daughter's husband?
Maybe one of you guys got a good explanation here for the position he was put in. I don't want to misquote it, but he was given a special.
I believe he's one of the top advisors to Trump.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up right now, but I believe he's one of the top advisors.
But he was given a special position to do something like unique, to oversee something. And
probably making all their plans at the top of 666 Park Avenue or whatever, right?
I mean, it's not a joke. It's real. It's crazy. You know, and he held on to that for a decade, even though they were just losing money out the wazoo on it forever, never turning a profit. They've made sure they've held on to it.
That's a prime piece of property there, man. 666.
Yeah, to them, you know. We got a guy, I don't know what he's saying here in North Korea. They're making some kind of announcement. They're supposed to have a parade today, right? Correct?
They're supposed to have a parade. There's some kind of weird gap in the parade schedule, though. Apparently, there's a 3-hour gap from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. People are saying it's kind of unusual. Not really sure why the gap is there.
Just stand by for nuclear testing. That's all.
And the nuclear test time is supposed to be 5 p.m.
It's supposed to be. So we got a time on this damn thing.
So I saw 2 different posts. Didn't have an opportunity to track down the validity of it. But we're going to be watching it all night. Anything happens, any one of us are liable to go live at any given time. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got Kushner's position here. Officially, he's a senior White House advisor, and his purview is expected to include the Middle East and Israel and government partnerships with private sector and matters involving free trade.
Israel. You just said it.
Boom.
Trump's whole cabinet's full of Zionists.
For those
Now,
people,
well, go ahead, because I was about to say the exact same words for those that don't know. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, for those that don't know, there is a difference between the Zionist regime that is running Israel and the Orthodox Jews in the streets. How do we know this? Because they've been screaming it, and they've been saying that they're fakes, that they don't even hold the Sabbath. So you're dealing with fakes. I tell you all the time, these people are not Christians, they're not Muslims, they're not Jews. They worship the fallen ones. I promise you. This is what it's about. You call it Lucifer, you call it Satan, you call it whatever it is you want to call them, aliens, demons. They are the fallen ones. They came into the women of this planet and they bored a creation, an entity. One that got so crazy, they wiped this place out. And listen, this is what gives them their power. If you can see this, it's the greatest thing that I could ever pass on to any of you in terms of awakening, is seeing this world stage for what it is. If you see this, then you can realize that a Putin, a Trump, a Netanyahu, all these goons realize what's going on. They are worshiping these entities. And that is the truth that no one wants to speak about ever, ever, ever. And it is the truth.
Yep. And you got to ask
yourself. The rest is a game, is a charade. I'm warning you.
And you got to ask yourself, going back, all these presidents, the ones we just mentioned, going back to Bush Sr., Bush Jr., all these presidents, what does Israel have that we are so beholden to them? Is there some kind of ancient secret weapon that they wield? Why are we all beholden to Israel? Why have we been destabilizing the Middle East since I was in high school? And I'm 44 years old. Why is this the history of our modern country? It's actually been going back before that. They were doing
Jacob Rothschild said, my family created Israel. That was out of his own mouth, Jacob Rothschild. Okay, and look at the Rothschild influence, even with Hitler throughout the World War. Look at the funding of both sides of World War I. France and Germany. Go ahead.
And someone asked, God loves Israel. Okay, or someone said that in the chat. Look, I understand that's what a lot of people have learned in church, that they think that the Israel is the chosen people. It's not that Israel. No God would co-sign the wholesale murder of Palestinians who are outgunned.
That goes right back to what I said, though. You have to understand the difference, and people are confused about this all the time. But the difference between the Zionist control, the evil regime that is running the show there, and the Jews in the streets that do not want nothing to do with them, that are calling them fakes. There's a difference between those who hold the Sabbath. If you want to talk about your true Jew, they are the ones that hold the Sabbath and do all the Jewish things. But then, you want to talk about the Talmud. You want to talk about all the secrets that they keep. What were you talking about, Casey? What scripture is it that they've got locked away that they haven't let any man see? Was it connected to the dead?
Book of Enoch, the actual ancient copy that was from 500 BC, before Christ walked the earth. That manuscript is hidden. It's in private hands. No scholar has seen it.
They will not let people review these things.
And that book was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947.
Same thing with the Gospel of Mary, right?
Yeah, it was found. There was a set amount of Apocrypha, or books that are not included in our modern Bible, which, by the way, our modern Bible has 66 books. I don't think God would put 66 books in the Bible.
Council of Nicaea chose that, by the way. And we talked about last time, just from the Hebrew version to, I forget which version it was of King James, but they've changed the words, like God created sea creatures. They've changed it in the new Bible to great whales. There's a
Right.
big difference. There's a big difference in changing words. And if that's all someone's got to do in a book to manipulate someone's mind, it's being done. And we've proven it time and time again. Just from the original text to what they're printing today. And that's deception.
Language is a living document, but it's not going to change that much. Not like that. The context isn't going to be that far blown out of proportion.
Yeah, you change a word, you could take the whole thing out of context, change the whole context of what the verse is meaning.
Right.
Well, let me put it in perspective for you. Let me explain the gravity of the finding of the Dead Sea Scrolls, because I feel like that just is not given the credit for what it is. In these caves, they found an ancient, complete Hebrew Bible from dating back to before Christ walked the earth. These are the oldest manuscripts ever found. And with the complete Old Testament was found the Book of Enoch right alongside it, 500 years before Christ walked the earth. Now, why didn't the world establishment then update the Bible, our modern Bibles, to include those ancient texts? Why wouldn't they overturn the decision of the Council of Nicaea to only have 66 books? It's because they took those books out on purpose. And the Ethiopian Bible actually includes those books that were taken out. But the Ethiopian Bible is often dismissed, even though the copies of the Ethiopian Bible are just as old. So this is what we're faced with, you guys. They've given you a watered down version, just like they scrubbed the WikiLeaks. They scrubbed the Bible, the true Bible. And it really should be like 77 books or something like that instead of 66. And to this point, I don't think anyone can dispute this. I mean, if you've got a book of the Bible that's found with an ancient copy of the Bible and all the rest of the books are there, why wouldn't you update the modern Bible to include those books? I don't get that. Doesn't make any sense.
I think somebody had a link to to a copy of the Book of Enoch, and they posted it in a live stream before. If one of you guys have that link, if you wouldn't mind posting it for everybody. That's a must read for those of you that have not read the Book of Enoch, or and do some research on the Dead Sea Scrolls too. It's
pretty fascinating.
There's a lot to it. Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It's not even mentioning the scrolls that were stolen from that cave that you covered a while back, Dabu. I mean, what was written on those that they had to be stolen and they was taken away, and we'll never find out what was written on those scrolls.
The kicker for me is there's a guy who has I believe it's a apartment complex. In the basement of the apartment complex in the Middle East, there's a collection of stuff that's been found. I believe it's in Iraq. It is Sumerian stuff, tablets, ancient Sumerian tablets, oil vases, all kinds of stuff, like hundreds and hundreds of these things. And it's a huge collection, and not many people have seen it. There's some video out there from one reporter who was let in during one documentary that had permission to go in there, but there's stuff everywhere. There's stuff everywhere that could explain a lot. And the most intriguing of all of it is locked away in places like the Vatican's vaults.
The head of Goliath was buried at the place where Christ was crucified 14 generations before the crucifixion of Christ, when David walked the earth. I was watching Game of Thrones season 3, and a giant walks into this camp, and the cinematography in that series is, I mean, if you can get past all the sex scenes and homophobia, homosexuality and all that other stuff, it's actually a really good series. The giant's carrying wood, and he drops the bundle of wood on the ground. He starts pounding it into the ground. And the woman says, "You've never seen a giant before, have you?" And he says, "No." And he goes, "If you piss him off, he'll hammer you into the ground like a nail." And the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and I was like, they're talking about Jesus being nailed to the cross. And it was the enmity between the seeds, the giants versus the true Israelites. And that was the battle that raged all throughout the Bible from the beginning, all throughout history. And it's the same battle we're fighting today. The elite carry the bloodline of the Nephilim, the fallen angels, and the holy ones, and all of us on the other end of the spectrum that are being ruled by them are the ones who are fighting good versus evil. Silence.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're on point there. Sorry, I had a spill here. Try to drop a message in the chat and ask if somebody could cover for a second while I was cleaning it up. Yeah, interesting times that we live in here for sure. Once again, I've got links for all these stories we've covered in the description box, guys, for a lot of stuff we've talked about tonight. I also have a military ship tracker that's in there where you guys can track the military ship movements, but that tracks what's in port, not necessarily what's out in the open water. You're not going to find anything with that. Any of you guys got any other headlines or anything else you want to talk about?
There's a drill going on in Europe this weekend. It's going to be F-35A fighters will be deployed throughout the weekend to do a drill in Europe. The U.S. Air Force put out earlier today.
I found this kind of funny. The day before Inauguration Day, Trump had an event where he told Kushner, if you can't produce peace in the Middle East, nobody can.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's very
interesting. What? I never really thought about the role of what this dude's doing till right now.
Well, the Antichrist is supposed to bring peace to the Middle East.
Right. Everything's starting to.
Who are this guy's parents? Who's Jared Kushner's parents?
Maybe you need to look it up.
Look it up right now.
Sorry, I'm still trying to clean up the mess.
It's all good, brother. That is.
I got
Charles Kushner and Cyril Kushner.
I have an update. The FDNY confirms 13 patients that they're treating for non-threatening injuries from Penn Station. And the Office of Homeland Security is to increase security and how to respond to active shooters in malls, particularly in New Jersey. So I just want to put that out there.
New Jersey got a special shout out by the Homeland Security Department.
Actually, yeah, they did. They're referring to what happened in Minnesota.
Okay.
And they're going to be increasing the presence of security, controlling non-public access points, and train mall cops.
You guys
Charles
ready for this?
Kushner's father has a crazy history, man.
I was just reading it. Go ahead, man. Break it down.
You could take it, man. It's crazy.
Okay, this is the father of Jared Kushner. He is an American real estate developer. He was convicted of illegal campaign contributions, tax evasion, witness tampering, and served time in federal prison. Witness tampering is huge. Basically, that involves possible threats to people's lives. After his release, he resumed his career in real estate. He's the father of Jared Kushner. Let's see how much time he did. Basically, his dad's a convicted felon. Wow, it says here at birth, he was assigned the name Chanin after a maternal uncle who died in a concentration camp during the Holocaust. This is why they love Israel, okay? Grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey with his eldest brother, Murray Kushner.
Did you say Canaan?
Channon.
Oh,
That was his name,
okay.
Channon. His parents were Holocaust survivors who came to America from Belarus. So this runs deep with Israel, with this family.
I wonder who he was funding, who the illegal campaign funds that he was pushing, who that was going to.
Good question.
Let's take a look.
All right. Well, check this out. So Channon has 13 forms and are used in English and other languages. Channon's origin and use are both in the Hebrew language. Channon's meaning is God was compassionate.
Huh. Oh, here we go. Criminal conviction. In the summer of 2004, Kushner was fined $500,000 for contributing to political campaigns in the names of his partnerships when he lacked authorization to do so. 2005, following an investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office, his attorney negotiated a plea with Kushner, under which he pleaded guilty to 18 counts of illegal campaign contributions, tax evasion, and witness tampering. Oh, the witness tampering charge arose from Kushner's active retaliation against William Skolder. Do you guys know who that is? His sister Esther's husband, who was cooperating with federal investigators. So he retaliated. Oh, he hired a prostitute to seduce his brother-in-law, arranged to record an encounter between the two, and have the tape sent to his sister.
Yeah, see, that's some shady shit right there.
That's
So
exactly what
just the type of father you'd need to have to be falling under certain categories.
That's elite blackmail right there. That's what the Illuminati do. Okay, he got busted.
Right.
14 months in a federal prison camp in Montgomery, Alabama. He got released in 2006. Oh, United Jewish Communities, Rabbinical College of America. He serves on the boards of Touro College, Stern College for Women, Rabbinical College of America, and United Jewish Communities. And donated $100,000 to Donald Trump's "Make America Great Again" PAC. He's one of the top donors.
You know, it's almost synonymous with these guys that there's going to be some type of sexual scandal involved. There's always some type of sexual scandal involved, where their family's involved, and sex is just so key to that world. It's so funny to see. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely some interesting information there in the background of Kushner. Shows the roots. For those that don't know, here on some military movement, I want to update a few things here. We have had Russian aircraft leaving the little strip that is near the North Korean border. They have been skirting Japan's airspace. Now, at the same time, we have U.S. Air Force and probably other allied air force that's in the area conducting big drills around Japan. And we have rolled the USS Stetham into the South China Sea.
And the British military replenishment vessel Titterance just docked in South Korea. So there's British military in South Korea right now too.
So the British vessel.
Thank you for that, Danny, by the way. Yeah, then it's the military replenishment vessel. That's their mission.
Okay. So thank you, Illinois. It's appreciated. So we have,
and thanks, Danny. I appreciate that info too.
They're making moves in the South China Sea is something to pay attention to here.
Everybody is, like Russia and British. Britain were just brought up, so it's everybody's making moves right now. Everywhere, Japan.
So the Philippines did the same thing. They sent some military vessels to a chain of islands in the South China Sea to try to claim them. And the thing with the South China Sea is it's massive, and there's a lot of international shipping lanes that run through this area. China thinks it's all theirs because the name China is in the name of the sea. They basically are claiming everything up to within like 100 miles of the border of some of these countries in some areas. And places like the Philippines are like, hell no. Like, you're trying to take islands just right off our shores and claim them. And they finally went out and tried to send troops out to kind of solidify, whatever's going on there and claim them. Now, Japan just did the same thing. Over 130 little islets or islands they went out and they were sending people to. And they were purposely spending the money to put people, even if it's not military, to put people on these islands so they're inhabited, even the most furthest out. So they would know. So they would have eyes and ears. That way, no one could move in and say, all right, they're uninhabited. We're claiming them. Basically, they made the move to do that, spend the money to do that. Same time, Japan has been saying, well, Abe has been saying they could launch sarin tip missiles. That was the first I ever heard of anyone mentioning anything with a chemical threat coming from North Korea. It's been talking about the nukes, but then they go on to talk about they were making chemical weapons and they've got all this other stuff. So they haven't even opened up the chemical weapon can of worm. I mean, what's the need when they're sitting here pitching the whole nuke football around? That's a big deal. Nuclear war. I mean, you're talking about game-changing events. If something was to happen, I've always believed that you're going to see a mushroom cloud coming off of that Korean peninsula. You go back a year or two, I've said it for the longest time. Here we are on the doorstep of it potentially happening. It's the last thing that I want to see. Do not want to see this escalate into something bigger. I find it hard to believe, though, that we've gone through all this trouble. There's all this military movement. If you look at the maps, vessels and aircraft, North Korea is a ghost town. I find it hard to believe they're in town and they're not going to do anything. Like I said, I can hope is that Kim Jong-un and his upper military staff aren't idiot enough to have some guys running around doing anything around those places to give them the excuse. Now, this is where everything changes. If this is a false flag in the making and we're about to get attacked here and blame it on someone else, anything like that, what do you do? What do you do? How do you stop the next 9/11?
Do you ever wonder if everything coming through your feed regarding North Korea is like fake? I wonder that sometimes.
It takes me right back to where I said the world's a stage. Well, all these world leaders know the real deal with the fallen ones, and everyone else is being played, lied to. Every religion, every race, every country. If the leadership isn't down, they go in and they kill them, like they did Gaddafi, like they want to do with Assad.
Yeah, like what if all this is propaganda? What if Kim Jong-un isn't the person that we're told he is over and over and over again? It's like every week there's a story about Kim Jong-un. It's like this has been going on for years.
Right. They've been propping them up, and people have called them a puppet state before. Back with some of the cyber things they were trying to blame on them and everything else. That's why I call them theaters of war. That's what they call them, theaters of war. It's what they are, in my opinion, here on this world stage. There's a reason they have these names in plain sight.
It's the countries that don't want to play ball in their new world order currency in these banks, the Rothschild banks. They want to have their own banks. They want to be independent. They want to live off their own resources. And the people in power and control just cannot stand that because they want to be in complete control and have world domination.
Yeah, Paul, she just got your ass banned. Said, who cares if there's another 9/11? And then he wanted to follow up and say, F America. Yeah, that'll get you banned quick. I guess it's not as bad as the chat over on the Korean stream. They're dropping N-bombs, F-bombs, everything else you can imagine.
Yeah, man, they're talking bad over there. I've been looking at that.
It's zipping right now.
You guys want to see the real time? Here, let's take a look. There's the two chats. side by side. Dabu, you're on the right. North Korea television's on the left, so it's keeping up.
Not on my screen. On my screen, the North Korea one's just zipping way faster than yours. I mean, it's just zipping.
We're gonna change gears. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I was done. Please.
I was gonna say, for those of you that follow my channel, many of you heard the announcement. Our channel is gonna change gears. On my channel, if you're not subscribed yet, I'm moving to France. And
it's a big move, man.
Yeah, completely different coverage on my channel. We're gonna do some, I don't know if we're gonna do live stuff, but it's gonna be like documentary type stuff. Be decoding castles, and these castles date back to the time of Christ. Some of them are featured in some of these feature films like Lord of the Rings. We're gonna be digging deep into some of this history, figuring out what role France played in world history. So if you're not subscribed, come on over, and it's going to pop off in May. Beginning of May is when all this is going to start going down. So
there's currently a tornado warning out for Castro County, Texas. Looks like there's a strong cell near Dimmitt.
Yeah, Texas. Just seen that making its way through. Good looking out there. It's that time of the year. Want to give a shout out to everybody out there that is tuned in here this evening, everyone that watches afterwards, everyone that shares this. It is appreciated to the fullest. Everyone out there that shares this information, we can only get so far with it. They only allow us to get so far, I swear to you. It just, subs can grow. You think your reach is growing, but they keep a lid on it. I'm telling you, we've learned from experience over time. A lot of you guys see it, feel it. Get a good crowd out there tonight, though. I know I see some out there like France sucks. Sucks. I'll just leave it at that. Because of the chaos going on there. I understand that. I understand that there is chaos going there, but by golly, I know that there's some people that are over there that have big YouTube channels that won't even go in the streets and report on Nathan. Same with some big names over in the UK. When protests popping off on the street, I'll be asking them on Twitter, oh, are we going to see you down there filming? Nothing. Nada. But now if Casey's out there and he's in a position, he's not only going to be showing us crazy stuff, crazy places, but he could pick up anything and everything. Of course, safety first, but this is like a unique adventure into France and the roots of France, the backgrounds of France.
It's one less place we have to worry about getting false news from or false leads from. We'll have somebody there that can vet that information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I won't be anywhere near Paris. I'm going to be in the west part of France, more like the countryside. But they've got castles that still have moats around them, and ramparts and drawbridges, and there's some crazy stuff that popped off, 1,000 years ago or 1,500 years ago.
A lot of history. And with the wars and everything else, it'd be interesting, man.
And for the record, no real location sucks. All right, the people there can suck, but man, this world is beautiful.
Right.
There are people that make this an ugly place to be sometimes. Right. But the world itself is beautiful.
Exactly.
The history, the landscapes, everything. It's what you make it. Try to stay positive about it, people.
It looks like they just shut down the KCTV Korean Central Television channel.
Yep. Now they went from 4,000 viewers to 39 viewers in like 60 seconds.
They did. That's completely off air done.
It's 100%. They got 440 thumbs ups, which, by the way, guys, hit the thumbs up, and 256 thumbs downs. That's funny. Good ratio there. Way to go, North Korea. If anybody doesn't know, I battle North Korea English on Twitter.
You do what?
I go at North Korea English on Twitter. There's it's like the English translation of the North Korea's official news agency. And There's like 4 other people in the country that I don't know, troll them, for lack of a better term. I don't consider myself a troll, but they're one of the people that I'm just laughing at on a regular basis.
All right. I had to adjust some settings there real quick. And yeah, shout outs to everyone out there. I don't know. We do the best we can on trying to stay on top of things here. Everybody's in a different spot across the country. And here shortly, we can say around the globe, which is really unique. I mean, we've got Daz that is always chiming in, and he's over there across the pond. And I believe I think it's the UK, Manchester, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's in the UK. Yep.
So, Casey making the move to France, that's really unique. We'll have these 2 guys out there in different places. And, I hope it goes down smooth. I mean, what else you got to lose, I guess, right? At this point.
Yeah.
You're grown with kids that are grown and everything else in life, and this is a time, man. If there's a chance, Brush Joyer, I appreciate that. Everybody out there in the super chat showing love. Yeah, we're it's kind of like I can feel there's a lot of anticipation and anxiety in the air. People like, what's going on? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I do know it's the 15th. Hold on. What time is it over there? Does anybody got a time check in North Korea right now? You said that there was a gap between 9 and
they're 12 and they're 12 and a half hours ahead of us. So it's 9:11 a.m. right now. In North Korea.
So they just went into that 3-hour lull that we were talking about.
That 3-hour window. Yeah, this is the time to pay attention over the next handful of hours. So, I'm sure Erick's getting off of work at 9 o'clock. I know Chico, me, we're doing the usual nightly sitting here. We're doing research for everybody.
So it's going on. It's like a quarter till.
Yeah.
It's basically 8:42 a.m. there, right?
It's 9:11 a.m. there. They're 12 and a half hours ahead. So
wow, they're halves. I didn't factor in halves.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
GMT
9:11. I didn't.
30. Yep.
So they're almost literally on the opposite side of the globe from us.
Yeah, with a half-hour distance. Half hour. That's like from here to Ohio.
Yeah.
Hey, I found it kind of interesting that the U.S. attorney that negotiated the plea agreement for Charles Kushner was Chris Christie, and and even crazier than that, Charles Kushner, his brother's name is Murray Kushner, and Murray Kushner is a prominent supporter of Governor Chris Christie, and to this day remains estranged from his brother Charles Kushner.
So we see the connection with all these goons. We just went from Soros to Kushner, to Kushner's parents and roots, into all this.
To Chris Christie.
To Chris Christie now. Yeah, I mean, when we see this, it's always the same goons, man. It's just like they were trying to pull off another election.
Is Chris Christie tied in with Trump right now? I thought I saw him in a picture shaking hands or something.
He is tied in with Trump.
It's all an illusion, man. They're all tied in, man. They're tied in at the butt. These dudes don't give a damn, dude. I'm telling you, you talk about the crazy stuff. The reality of it is they are involved with all this crazy stuff, and it's a part of what they believe in behind the scenes.
They are, and they rode in on the emotions of the American people on this last election.
I don't know. So do you think, let's just say for a second here, let's just say the U.S. does strike North Korea, preemptive strike, what do you think are going to be the very first targets realistically? How long do you think it would last? The first barrage?
I'd say they hit Pyongyang.
I'd say it would be instant, but I peg North Korea to do something a little more crazy, like detonate a nuke in the middle of Pyongyang. You know, kind of like a mass suicide type thing. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, it's like we're always saying, it's so
wow, that's crazy.
It could go either way. You know what I mean? Like they, who knows?
North Korea will nuke South Korea. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's what
yeah, I think that too. I have a strong feeling.
They might launch a bunch of rockets right over the border.
They'll hit our base over there.
Yep. Well, they came out with a statement a couple hours ago that literally said, you know, we're aimed and prepared to strike the military bases in South Korea. I mean, that's literally what
do you think they'll send out a flurry and they'll just try to send them at multiple? I mean, I almost think that's their only option. I think
they would shoot multiples, because
I think they hit Japan, they would hit South Korea, they would hit U.S. warships, they would hit any of the prime targets that are in the vicinity. They would launch. They'd get everything they've got in one blow. I think because they know they're done after that. Yeah, you're done. As soon as the missiles start flying, dude, Kim Jong-un's days are numbered. This cannot go on. Look at this on the world stage. He's surrounded. Now, if say we take a couple strikes, we take out some of his key components, he hasn't fired back. Say we launch some strikes, we level some places, take out some things, and maybe even some of his key top people, and maybe even Kim Jong-un, because I find it hard to believe that they're going to do all this and not try to take this dude out. Do we then have a combination of South Korean, U.S. allied forces sneaking in across the border?
I don't think there will be a sneak in. I think it would just, if they launch anything, if they so much as fire one shot across the border, it will be full-blown invasion, in my opinion. We will cross. The thing to remember here is they're going to do.
Oh, so you think we will cross in?
Oh, sure. That'll be it. If they provoke the actual war with the proverbial shot heard around the world, like in the Revolutionary War, if that happens at the border of North Korea and South Korea, then I think it'll be full-blown invasion. I think it'll be everybody come in from their respective borders. Everybody starts squeezing them in. But here's the problem. North Korea will do what happened in Vietnam, and they will do what happened in the Korean War. They will burrow into the ground. They have had hundreds of years to dig these tunnels with no interference from any outside people.
Well, see, that's my thing. That's my thing. How do they know then if they've got a bead inside this mountain where they're testing and where we've seen the earthquakes emanate from before? How do they know if they don't have other tunnels right down connected to these chambers where there's no above ground activity, where they can load this thing and test it without anything being seen above ground?
I think that we would be a fool to think that they don't. So based on previous military history with the burrowing in the ground and the digging in for the long haul, so to speak.
Dude, look at Vietnam. Look back at Vietnam. I mean, it was horrendous what was going on.
It would be a slow go, just like in Vietnam. It would be a slow push. You would do invasion, but you'd only get it might take you a week just to get across the border because they're launching their rockets at you. Look, anybody that thinks that North Korea is not semi-technologically advanced with their military should do another look. Okay, I did a bunch.
And they've been getting fed by Chinese and Russians, and Syrians.
They've got the 10-foot wide platforms with 50 holes in them that shoot these rockets out one after another over and over and over and over again. Like, they've got rapid fire rocket systems, ground to ground based rocket systems lining their borders right now. So it's not as simple as, we're just going to drop a nuke and have it be done. No, if these guys are burrowed in the ground, it's going to be a long push.
Now, but what do we do if this, thinking about this full scale, if we start striking cities and we start striking anywhere, once the bombs start to blow things up in North Korea, there's going to be a mass panic. There's not going to be the peaceful calm that you were seeing in the streets today. You're going to see people starting to make moves to do what? Don't you think people are going to try to be getting out of that place, out of the country? Yeah. Don't you think people will be trying? Refugees will be flooding toward the border. So China would have to. China would have to be prepared,
like you would from other countries.
KCTV just went live again.
What I think is going to happen is I think that China is supplying North Korea with all of their weaponry, and we just don't know it. I think that it's like a proxy war. It's just like the United States, setting up, standing behind these ISIS and Al Qaeda.
It is another proxy. And another big. Go ahead. Sorry.
We bomb North Korea. Basically, China is going to see that as a threat because they're allies with North Korea, and they may even defend them. We don't know.
My problem is with this is I feel like there's been, it's a world stage theater. I feel like there's been some kind of deal struck behind the scenes that they're not telling no one. As soon as Trump and China's leader have this little meeting eating cake and he launches missiles, I mean, everything's peachy. And then Xi comes back to China and immediately cuts the coal off. I mean, that was a big sign. Strikes up a huge deal with the United States. Just totally rejects them. Then they put out an ultimatum and they tell North Korea, look, if any leakage, any blowback, whether by accident, on purpose, from a strike, anything comes into Northeast China, we are going to strike you. This is coming from China concerned about blowback in their face from any fallout, which is a legitimate concern. It is a legitimate concern for them sitting right there. So you have to think that if Trump and Xi were sitting here talking, that there had to be the conversation of, okay, if you're hitting specific points, you got to make sure that it's not blowing back into our country. You see what I'm saying? And what do you do then? What do you do if you hit a spot and you think it has something there and it has something different? And we have a massive mushroom cloud and chemicals going everywhere. It's kind of too late then. You see?
Right. It takes some serious strategic planning to even think about starting to launch nukes.
To me, it would take the planning of both China and the United States here. And I think they're doing it quietly behind the scenes more than what people know. Because I think that if China just was to look like an all-out turn-the-table enemy to North Korea, then they could get nuked. It pulls them into the fray. They could be busting rounds at South Korea, China, Japan, everyone. I don't think they want to be there in that position. But what happens if you take out this regime? Let's just say that. Say we launch, you take out this regime, you take out their nuclear capabilities. There's some refugee stuff going on, flooding the borders. We've got troops working the borders. But what do you do then? What happens? Who takes a foothold? Does China sit back and let the United States go up in there and set up a puppet government? Or does the United States sit back and watch China come in and do that? Because one of them would have to make a move. When has the United States ever sat back and knocked on into a country that's fallen and not went in and tried to set up a puppet government?
I think reunification would be the goal at this point, simply because the reason for division to begin with was what started this regime that has them in the situation that they're in now.
I'm really not sure how that would work out.
Well, I'm not trying to sit here and think in terms of everyone as our enemy here on this world stage. That's how they've molded this whole thing to be, where everyone's a big enemy, Russia, China. If you go back to what I was saying before with this world stage, they know about the fallen ones. This is a charade. This is something they're playing out. And
I think that these fallen ones are the ones that have given this technology to Israel and possibly even the Crown of England to wield this power over all of us. And that's what these world leaders are afraid of. That's why they bow to the Queen. That's why they defend Israel.
It was either in Enoch or the Testament of Solomon where they stated that the fallen ones were teaching men and their offspring secrets that were reserved for heaven. Basically, they were teaching them secrets and all this other stuff that all the rest of the people were not getting. And that was giving them control. And when you fund both sides of a war and create the boogeyman like they have today, I mean, it really is a world stage. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. And we have so many fronts right now. That's the interesting thing. We got all eyes on North Korea. What did they do? They drop bomb in Afghanistan. You know, at what will be next? Something that most people haven't been talking about that I've seen was NATO making moves. NATO just sent troops to within 35 miles of Kaliningrad. For those of you that have been following me, you know I've warned about Kaliningrad several times. And the reason I did is because Kaliningrad is a unique little area, so to speak, that Russia took over that sits near Belarus and Poland and near the water. They can launch from land, sea, and air. It is one of their biggest, most strategic military points. They are surrounding it right now. They are looking to cut off a strategic area, a strait, where if Russia was to make a move, they would build up in this area. They're looking to advance on that, and they're doing it right now. And no one's saying much of it. So while there is big moves being made here, a lot of attention on North Korea, there are big moves being made with U.S. troops, British troops that are on the border of Kaliningrad. Now, if you want to take out Russia, you have got to take out Kaliningrad there. You see, what's interesting is if you look back at Russia, the old Soviet Union, I spent a couple hours last night researching the whole World War and what Hitler was doing and how he made his run. Hitler, being funded by Rothschild money as well, made his run on all these countries and tried to make it across the water into England. He was sending bombers. They bombed the crap out of London for 76 days in a row, pummeled it. But because they couldn't get across the water the way that they wanted, they never went in and like invaded that area of London or anything else. So they turned and set their sights elsewhere. They stormed into all these other countries, Poland, going all the way up into Russia. Everyone was like, there's no way they'll do this. There's no way that he can go this far. Hitler keeps on pushing. Instead of going straight toward Moscow, he hangs a right and they swoop down. They take Kiev, which is now in Ukraine. Well, at that point, it was Russian controlled. It was filled with Russians. And the next thing you know, they start marching into Russia in city after city after city. The panzers, the divisions of tanks, were just taking them all. They were falling one by one. And this is when Stalin was in control. And Stalin had spies out there, and the spies were reporting back all these different things, and he didn't want to hear it. The previous war, where Russia got attacked, the reason they got attacked is because they were mobilizing their military, and the enemy saw it, and it provoked them to attack them. So he wasn't about to do it. He said, I'm not mobilizing. I'm not falling for the trick again. But he did not know that here come Hitler and his troops storming across the border, taking city after city after city, which is interesting. But because they made the mistake of stalling before they advanced on Moscow, something called the Siberian snows started to sweep in, and snow swept all over Russia, and weather was the game changer. Everything iced up. Blizzards set in. Whiteout conditions. Weapons would not fire. And the tables started to turn. Then Russia launched out of all their foxholes, all their tanks, and just started pounding Germany. Got them on the run for the very first time, right on the outskirts of Moscow before they started launching on it. They were down to only 400 tanks to defend Russia with, Moscow. The weather changed the game. They sent their generals. They were responding back to Germany. They were like, we need weather gear. Hitler was like, no, you don't. Keep fighting. That was Hitler's response. They're like, we can't. We're stuck in the mud. It's frozen like a rock. Weapons won't shoot. We have to retreat. Well, he started to retreat. 2 days later, the whole war changed. Pearl Harbor was bombed. That changed the outcome, the direction, the flow of the whole freaking war. And everything that Hitler was doing, the U.S. getting involved, bombing Japan, And they were on the doorstep of Moscow before it happened. That's how far he marched. Just to take you back and give you some perspective for those that don't know.
And I've seen the beaches of Normandy. I walked through the sands of Normandy and saw the craters from the bombs that dropped from the Allied forces as they were trying to soften the target. I've seen the concrete pillboxes blown apart into 10-ton chunks blown across the beach. It's all still there. I've seen the crosses, the white crosses, as far as the eye can see at the memorial. And when I walked out onto that beach and saw that sand and realized that the blood of thousands of men was spilt there, it was chilling.
I'm sure it was humbling, man. It's at the top of my travel list. I really got to get to France.
I've got an update here out of Afghanistan of right around where this MOB hit, very close. There was just a 4.0 earthquake. I wonder if it's the earth settling the damage, because this is at a depth of 206 kilometers, so it's deep. So it looks like the earth is shifting, seeing the repercussions there in that area from that bomb. Right there in the area. We'll keep an eye on these things. In terms of the quake activity, like I said, we see any quake activity coming out of the Korea area, something to pay attention to.
I got something else I want to share here. Jared Kushner's grandmother's name was Ray Kushner. There's a school named after her now. Soviet troops entered Poland in 1939, which is where Ray Kushner is from. And the Russians took away the Kushner businesses and homes. Also, the Nazis later invaded where the Russians were holding, and all of Ray Kushner and her family were forced to enter a ghetto. And Ray and her family lived in the city's courthouse, and her mother and her sister were killed in a large massacre, and Ray and her father and her sister were among 300 Jews that lived out of that ghetto, where there was nearly 600.
I have a little thing about Kushner too, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
I looked up 666 Fifth Avenue real quick, and 666 Fifth Avenue was initially built in 1957 by the Tishman Realty and Construction Group. Now it says here, which sold the building when it dissolved in 1976. But if you go to Tishman Realty and Construction, they were founded, an American founded corporation in 1898 that owns and develops real estate, but the company is known for being the contractor to build the New York World Trade Center.
What?
Yeah. So the people that built 666 Fifth Avenue is the same company that built the World Trade Center.
Hold on, dude. That's solid. It's a solid connection right there.
Which they bought the steel for the World Trade Center on the very day and year that George Bush Jr. was born. That's when the steel contract went out for the World Trade Center on his birthday.
The company that 666 Fifth Avenue was sold to is the Suimoto Group. It was sold in 1976, and it is the largest Japanese realty, founded in 1615.
Wow.
Founded by a former Buddhist priest.
We have reports coming out now. North Korea's vice foreign minister basically just dropping the statement saying we will go to war if provoked by the U.S. So that's some of the latest updates there. There was just shout outs to Tronic. He just tweeted out a flight from North Korea to China, KOR 151, right now is in motion. Apparently, a flight just took off. This is after China just suspended those flights, so this is interesting.
Yeah.
Korea 151 is in motion. out of that area. So a couple updates there.
The next 3 hours or so are going to be really interesting. So, you know, everybody, just make sure you're following all of these pages. Okay. You know, I'm set up to go live at any time. So is Dabu. Chico, you two, all of us.
Yeah,
Make
what
sure you
happened to
guys are
this
liking and
president that was supposed to be more isolationist and talk about America, making America great again? Here we are at the
Yeah.
brink of world war.
Yeah, really. And, you know, I really, that was going to title the video that tonight, but I was just like, man, it's just dealing with this stuff is so charged with emotion and energy that, I mean, there's no needing to add to it, you know, even though that is really where we sit in that atmosphere, in that climate. It's already, so there's no reason to have, I didn't want it to be too much, you know what I'm saying? For people like, oh my God, you know, because I don't want people to be freaked out in this atmosphere. You have to live life and push on. The key here is to see the bigger picture. And to me, it's always been about trying to stop the next 9/11, damn it. Anything we can do to stop it, to stop the next event, to get a beat on it. That's what we
That was
all
me. I
strive
just
to
joined
do.
on my computer.
But, you know, some things are just literally out of all of our hands when big things are in motion.
3/11/11, Fukushima, 9/11/01.
All right. It looks like the USS, the United States Red Cloud. It is a vehicle carrier. It looks like it just docked. It just landed in South Korea. This is a massive carrier. It's a vehicle carrier. This carries vehicles like Humvees and everything else. It just, we'll drop this in the chat so people can pull this up, so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Those carry tanks and even bigger machinery than that.
All right, so heavy equipment for sure.
All right, I will say for the record, I am looking at flight radar over North Korea. It is showing flights all around South Korea. There's a huge diversion of flights off to the west of North Korea. I don't know if they're being routed to the other side of the ocean to stay away from North Korea. I'm not sure what the borderways are for the water, but I do not see a flight.
I do.
Anywhere. Now that,
well, it's already gone.
Are you looking at one?
I already got the flight.
It's already gone.
It's way out in China. If you click on it, it'll show its tail. It'll show its trail. It's Korea 151. If you type it in, KOR 151. What I was trying to zoom in here and find is there's an this is the same vicinity the flight came out of late last night. And I'm trying to see where the airport is. It's northwest of Pyongyang. It may be around Taechan. But there's an area where I think it's Kusong. It looks like there's an airstrip right there in Kusong. Kusong. Kusong in North Korea. It looks like there's an airstrip right there, and it looks like that's the area where these flights were taken off from.
Is it next to, is Kusan next to Kusoff?
That's on San, it's above Sanshan and Taechon and Kolsan and Pangchong Sui, Hayangsang. These are real cities. Pokchen, Tangwan, Ajiu, Dang Dong. that's a big city.
Anyway, who's there?
Hey, so listen, on the Red Cloud, it can her gross tonnage is 72,737 tons. All right, so just keep in mind a M1 Abrams weighs 62 metric tons. And this thing can carry 72,000 tons.
So it can carry a lot. And that is a massive ship. Seeing that ship roll up at any harbor is intimidating. Any of these massive ships.
What kind of ship is it?
It's the Red Cloud. It's a vehicle carrier. Just pulled up in I keep wanting to say South Carolina, South Korea.
And that name, Red Cloud, that's a crazy name for.
Yeah, it is.
It's a crazy.
I've never heard of that. I've never even heard of
that carrier.
Red Cloud. That's like a freaking mushroom cloud.
Hey,
yeah, that's exactly what I think of as a nuke when I hear Red Cloud.
All right, guys, I got a big update. This is coming from the mainstream outlets out there. We'll see which way this goes, but they're starting to push this. See, ABC is now saying that U.S. officials are stating they think that North Korea will conduct its sixth nuclear test on the country's most important holiday, April 15th, which it's already happening. We're in the lull between 9 a.m. and noon, the gap we talked about earlier. So now we have here on Friday evening, mainstream dropping statements like this that they believe they're going to do this today, basically, within the next 12, 18 hours. To me, it would be within the next 12 hours. Before it gets dark over there. If it's going to be on the day, if they're going to do this with a sign of significance, you know what I'm saying? Right. If they're going to do this in correlation with this day, then it's going to be during the day. They're not going to wait.
Or they could do it on Hitler's birthday, 4/20.
They could. Yeah. Who knows with this? It's crazy. You've got the date 4/17 written in the streets of Damascus, right down from Kim Il-sung, which is what this whole day is about. And I'm going to keep an eye on those dates because, I mean, the fact that they already struck on one date and we're coming up on April 17th and then May 6th, there's definitely ones to keep an eye on. And yeah, guys, we've got apparently we have the parade about to begin, is what they're stating. A few screenshots here from Steve Herman. It says from DPRK television right now. There's no time on this. This is weird. It must see how long ago this was posted, but it got it for today. The parade is about to begin in North Korea. So will they finish this thing, cap the parade off with the test? Will they do it during the parade? Send people running? I don't know at this point, guys. I'm just going to have to stay on top of it and keep updating as we go.
Yeah.
You guys seen any other updates there on the Penn Station thing?
No, I haven't seen anything. Anybody check Periscope lately? See if anything came out of North Korea today?
No, I haven't. I had to remove it and a few things from my phone just to get it to run right. Try to get the YouTube app where everyone's supposed to have the capability now to go live just by updating. All you have to have is like, what, 10,000 subs or something?
Yeah.
Doesn't work for me.
Views.
None of my accounts. Doesn't work. Just do the update to YouTube. I had to remove Emoji and all my other live streaming apps, and then it wouldn't let me.
Good times.
Yeah.
Wow.
NYPD counterterrorism tweeting out, if you see something, say something, with their number, with everything that just went on.
Wow.
And yeah, with that event, we don't know what happened. I mean, with gunshots, it looks like there was not an active shooter, but they got the effect that they wanted. We were talking about that earlier. It kind of seemed like they got the chaos from the people they were looking for. 9:30 a.m., April 15th, right now in North Korea. Yeah, shout outs to everybody out there in the chat, everybody that updates us with stuff or fresh information, everybody that sends in information. If you guys don't know, hit me up, dabu7yahoo.com if you got any info you want me to get out there. Somebody said
there are some scheduled flights out of the North Korean airports. For the afternoon.
Are they where are they going, does it say?
So arrivals, there are two arrivals set to come in at 3:35 and 3:40 p.m. One from Beijing and on, I think, Cubana Airlines, and one from Shenyang Air Koryo. Let me check the other airport, see if there's anything.
It looks like the state TV in North Korea is just now beginning to broadcast the military parade.
There is a departure at 11:20 this morning for Shenyang. And then nothing on the ground currently. That's the Pyongyang airport, I believe. Yeah, the Pyongyang Sunan International Airport.
I was having some connection issues there.
Good work on that Kushner stuff, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. We're off air?
No, we're on air still.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Also, keeping an eye on some of the flights coming out of South Russia. There's that little idiot. There seems to be a near Vladivostok. A lot of flights going in and out. If you're looking at flight radar, you'll notice that any flights that are going around the country are going pretty far out and away from the coast, unless they're going directly in or out of North Korea. All the rest of them seem to be keeping the distance.
Hey, I don't know where I cut out, but I was saying that if the available tonnage on the Red Cloud went to only M1 Abrams and M1 Abrams alone, it would house 1,039 M1 Abrams.
Wow.
That's a lot of tanks.
Sure is.
And that is
so there's only one airport listed in North Korea, and that's the Pyongyang airport for inbound and outbound flights internationally, and it's only 2 arrivals and 1 departure. So there will be a departure. If you guys see anything about something leaving at 11:20 their time this morning, just know that there's a scheduled departure 2 hours from now out of the Pyongyang airport. So it's not, it's a legit passenger plane, but it's the only scheduled departure for the rest of the day.
Shout outs to Brianna. I've got to say that, yeah, there is a scheduled Berkeley event tomorrow in California, 11 a.m. PST. I know people are concerned about it. There's supposed to be Antifa protest, maybe some chaos in the streets. So if you guys start to see headlines about that, you're talking about some of the same groups we've exposed many times before, backed by Soros, going back to a place where they've caused chaos. But yeah, that's going to be popping off 2 p.m. Eastern in California tomorrow. So I'm sure we'll see some kind of headlines out of it.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's a little clarification on Red Cloud. He was actually an important leader of the Oglala Lakota Indians, and he was one of the most capable Native American opponents that the United States Army faced in its mission to subdue the Western territories.
So that's kind of like a slap in the face then to name a transport ship after him, isn't it?
Yep. 81
I think so.
81 U.S. men were killed in a war against this guy.
Wow.
On the Great Plains until
He was a beast.
military defeat. Yeah, he's a beast. He's also the most photographed American Indian of the 19th century. Red Cloud's War.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so is this signaling defeat of America? I mean, what does this really mean? What does Red Cloud really mean?
The names and everything tied to some of the stuff is definitely interesting. You know, we were talking before. You said something, Mike, about having this lull of like a 3 hours of nothing, right?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a break in the parade schedule from their time, 9 a.m. to I believe 12 or 12:30.
We'll
And
see
for
it
those of
now.
you that missed it earlier, there is a 12.5 hour time difference between us and them. So right now it's 9:50 a.m.
But they're
North Korea
going
time.
on with the parade. There is no lull. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And so be it. You guys can expect everything to change up. Whatever you hear and whatever you think
Right.
might happen in this situation, there's no guarantee on anything. There's no. I'm just, it's what I'm seeing. It's what we're all seeing. And I'm glad that we can be here to lay it all out for everybody, and not everybody has their faces glued to their phones or their computers. I'm not saying that we do all the time, but we dedicate a lot of that extra time to it just to be able to condense all of this together for you guys. And Killer B, it looks like Killer B just put a link in the chat for the live parade, which I actually appreciate because I was just searching that.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up. I'm trying to share something here.
There's a Native American rapper called Red Cloud.
Thank you, Zachary. That is
Oh yeah, there they are.
very much appreciated.
Some 200
He said, "I love you, Lauren." Wanted to get that out to Lauren. He loves you.
So here we go. We have a lot of military officials. They had invited foreigners in for the event too. So chances are here we are seeing members of the diplomatic community in North Korea and foreigners. There aren't very many aid agencies left in North Korea, but those people would have been invited today. Plus various North Korean sympathizers from around the world will be there. So we're waiting. I mean, everybody is waiting here, as you can see. For what happens next. I guess that Kim Jong-un will be coming out soon. Aha, what have we got here? A bunch of senior officials. Okay. Here we go. This is Kim Jong-un. You are watching live as Kim Jong-un arrives in Pyongyang at the celebrations for his grandfather's
like
birthday,
Eric Cartman.
105 years ago today.
He opened the door, Bob. So.
That's crazy sounding.
Interestingly, he is wearing a Western style suit and looks like he's got a light white tie on there as well. This is something that his grandfather did. He was often wearing a Western style suit and tie, unlike his father, Kim Jong-il, who usually wore that olive green kind of military type uniform.
Yo, it's like watching Hitler.
Totally.
That's what it seemed like. As an
they're screaming Manse, which is like kind of.
As an update, there is also a U-2 spy plane operating off the coast of California with this P-3 Orion that are doing circles off the coast of Cali.
It's a celebratory cry in Korea.
당과 국가 군대의 책임 일꾼들과 해외 동포 축하단 대피단 단장들을 정중히 맞이했습니다.
Well,
Yo, that was like watching Germany in the 39, 40.
This is the live feed from Pyongyang. We're watching Kim Jong-un just came out of a limousine there. He is now standing presumably in front of this huge formation. I'm just going to keep this rolling while we watch what happens next.
연병 광장에 전결한 승리자들의 대호 부족의 출갑 대호들을 바라볼수록 추억도 깊어지는 이 시각입니다. 주체의 태양이 솟아오른 1912년 3월 15일 반만년을 목마르게 까려온 민족의 오보이신 우리 수령님께서 탄생하신 그날이 있어 세계가 우러러보는 순군의 대강국으로 빛나는 위대한 태양조선의 역사가 펼쳐지게 되었습니다.
Clone Wars.
Shout outs to everybody out there in the chat showing love and support. It's appreciated. Everyone that's got our back, everyone that shares this information, shares the stream. Make sure you're subbed to all of our channels.
위대한 태양민족의 대공연사는 탁월한 수령을 모셔야 나라와 민족의 존엄도 강성번영도 있다는 철의 진리를 뚜렷이 확증했습니다.
And no, I'm not, I can't translate that. I will open this up for translation afterwards. If someone can come through and do that, they can add it.
I guess it's not what you say, but how you say it, right?
Do you want me to send you a link that you can go full screen with? I've got the full screen.
If it'd work any different, yeah.
Yeah, it's got all the it's got like the announcer off to the side and everything. Do you see it in my in the bottom of the screen there?
What's it linked to?
Oh, hold on, let me get the link. It's the official website for I'm sharing my screen that has the site on it. I'll send you the site.
You want to get the copyright.
Yeah, I'm just going to use this Periscope.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing.
우리 장군님은 그것을 무한대로 이어놓으신 위대한 선군 태양이십니다.
Looks fake.
I'm not saying that, but it just sounds funny.
Up into this day,
Listening to them.
North Korea has been delivering its usual kind of bluster and rhetoric, warning of a big event, warning that it will, use its powerful nuclear deterrent to protect itself if needed. Expectations of some kind of test, nuclear or missile, have caused a lot of jitters in the region. The U.S. Navy sent its aircraft carrier, the USS Carl Vinson, and it's the guided missile destroyers and cruiser that go along with it, and the strike group back to the Korean Peninsula area. It was supposed to go to Australia, but it was rerouted last weekend. Plus, President Trump has been tweeting a lot about North Korea, saying that, and about China, actually saying that China must crack down on North Korea. China must use its leverage over North Korea to make it stop this kind of stuff, or the US will go in and take care of it itself. These warnings, combined with the airstrikes in Syria, have raised tensions or jitters that the Trump administration might be considering some kind of military action against North Korea. Washington Post sources are saying that that is not the case. Sanctions and pressure remain the #1 priority, and that while Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, and other officials have said all options are on the table, the military option is not at the top of the list. That is in nobody's interest, not the US, not South Korea, not Japan, not China, and certainly not North Korea to have any kind of military action. So here we go. The parade is really getting underway now. There is Kim Jong-un, 33 years old, leader of North Korea. He's looking more and more like his grandfather with that haircut, in the Western
That's
style.
insane to be 33 with all
the
that power.
balcony.
Yeah.
In Pyongyang, ready, we have the parade,
Seriously,
or
the
the
sun?
military part of the parade about to
We're in a
start.
sun
Look at
formation.
this. So 5 years ago, Kim Jong-un was standing here on this very balcony, and one of the people standing next to him was his uncle, Jang Song-taek. And he famously or notoriously had his uncle executed the following year for apparently amassing too much of his own power. So yeah, it was just like a couple of years ago that we had saw Jang there on the stage next to Kim Jong-un. This is part of the system of kind of terror in North Korea, where the leaders need to keep the elite not just happy but also terrified, and that's how they keep the system together. I'm going to turn up the volume for you.
My bad. Try to get the volume back.
In the middle of Pyongyang.
Now the sun's breaking down. Yeah, the rays of the sun.
So the commentary you're hearing
Right.
are the announcers from Korean Central TV, who speak in this very kind of peculiar, breathy kind of way. So I'm just going to zoom in here. See, this is the Changjeon Street apartments in North Korea. This is home to the elite, one of the big showcase buildings in North Korea and Pyongyang that's made the city look, frankly, pretty good these days. Sorry, the resolution's just gone out a bit on this. Here we go, it's back.
15. Oh, that's the date of this over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I'm not in Pyongyang right now. I am sitting on my computer in Tokyo, but I have been at some of these big celebrations in Kim Il-sung Square in the middle of Pyongyang before. And it's really kind of breathtaking, the scale of this. This is a huge square in the sort of Stalinist style of architectural planning or urban planning that Pyongyang adopted. So it's a massive square surrounded.
And she just got cut off.
Oh,
You think they're going to play God Bless America for us?
I thought it was my internet there for a minute, but it's dropped out so many times before in these crazy situations. But see, we lost it for the moment. Just have to stay on top of it here. If it comes back, if I get it back, I'll go back to it. But it looks like things are, flowing smoothly here on their little celebration. I wouldn't hold your breath on any big move right here. I kind of feel it'd be the stupidest thing that this guy could do is to make any move while he's surrounded. They've got a lot of military equipment on the move out there, that's for sure. And we know now that it's in motion. Parade's in motion. We've got Kim Jong-un on the scene.
Hey D, that link that I put out to you in the side chat has audio playing with it. It's got the music and everything.
Looks like they got our views watching stuck at 2666. It's been that way for a couple of minutes now.
Seeing 2624 now.
Oh, it changed for you.
Oh, my bad.
Seen somebody in the chat earlier said, "Behold the red horse." I believe that's from Book of Revelation.
Oh, we're talking about the red cloud.
No, I believe they were talking about the North Korean army. We're just putting on a fancy display for us.
Okay.
Look at that cheesy smile. Look at that.
Do you think this would be a time where Trump would like attack and just try to take him out?
Not with that many innocent people sitting around. Hell no.
Those are all, there's a lot of military there, though. I mean, it'd be a perfect military target.
I mean, you're right. That is the perfect military target, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
I was thinking for some sort of false flag to be done here or something and make it look like Korea was maybe doing a attack, and then we enter.
I just think that they're not going to make any big moves. They can't. I just feel like if they do, there's going to be bombs dropped. It'll be the next thing we hear and see.
But what if it's not them? What if it's said to be them, but
right?
You know how that works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we want to enter somewhere, we can find a reason.
Yeah, like it's Syria.
Or make a reason. Yeah, look at Syria's right.
And still 95% of the American public believes that they launched a chemical attack on their own people when they had the rebels on the run. Makes no sense at all.
Right.
When that's the same thing as this situation here, how we're saying it would be so stupid for Kim Jong-un to launch an attack right now. It was the same thing for Bashar al-Assad. It would have been very dumb for him to launch a gas attack on his people with, what was going, him being under the microscope as he is right now.
Exactly, with the whole world watching.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So yeah, I'm sitting here just trying to go over some of these latest updates. May not see anything else come of this as far as big moves. I mean, you had a point. The military parade is in motion. This is where they've got a whole bunch of their military. Looks like my chat thing's freezing up on me here. You said you dropped a link in there?
Yeah. I'm actually screen sharing it. I mean, if you wanted to present me, you'd have it up on the screen, but I don't think you'll get the audio, though.
Right.
I'll send it to you in a private message real quick, a Twitter private message.
I believe it's live on the ICN channel right now.
And this link is here we go. There you go.
북한군 소장이 우리 말하면 준장이고요.
예.
그래서 지금 역시 이제 조선노동당 일을 앞장서는 차량이 들어오고
지금 속보 들어온 것을 보면은 수청설이 돌았던 김원 국가부의사 열병식에 참석했다.
네. 그 화면이 좀 봐야 될 것 같습니다. 차량 역시 풀어졌다는 얘기가 앞에 이제 북한 처음에 그 북한 국기죠. 해석을 하면은 북한의 공식 명칭은 조선민주주의인민공화국이고요. 북한의 두 번째가 당입니다. 조선노동당이죠. 북한에. 사실 조선노동당은 나중에 그 노동 그 우리가 근현대사를 보면 다시 남노당이 있었고, 그러니까 조선노동당 남조선본부, 조선노동당 북조선본부인데 김일성이가
Periscope from earlier is back up live.
역사를 다 왜곡을 하고 지금 이제 북한의 조선노동당이라고 합니다. 당 위국가입니다. 그러니까 굉장히 그 모든 당이 모든 걸 다 근데 당의
Well, there's a good look at the military they've got on deck.
3대 세습을 역사 인류 역사에게 어느 국가도 하지 않았다는 3대 세습을 지금
북한과의 조선중앙TV 열병식 모습 실시간으로
저 아마 그 기대 이를 단기와 국기를 대항을 한 다음에 본격적인 이제 퍼레이드를 하는 그런 모습을 볼 수 있을 것 같습니다.
조선중앙TV가 생중계를 시작한 것이 10시 5분쯤으로 전해지고 있습니다. 그러니까 지금은 벌써 35분 이상 계속해서
아마 행사를 아마 최소 1시간 이상, 2시간까지 하지 않을까라고 지금.
So yeah, I don't know what they're saying. It does make it.
You know what they're saying. We were very stupid for putting all of our military stuff in one spot at one time while every nuke in the world is trained on us right now. Because that's kind of crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, why would they do that?
It is a massive amount of the military. I mean, I'm sure this is where a lot of us top leadership is right now as well.
Well, let's see
Trump's
if they
probably
parade their
watching
nukes
this
down the
right
street.
now, like, man, I should drop him.
Well, it's a good point because
It's
they
crazy.
are amassed all in one spot, and it easy pickings if that was the case. So yeah, we have a lot of this military movement here for this parade. As you can see, they've got a whole lot of troops on the ground, different equipment. There's Kim Jong-un himself, mean mugging.
Yeah, look at him.
I don't think that
grimy oon, man.
Who knows? I mean,
you know, he's eating well. He's eating well.
Yeah. Notice how the guys to the left of him all got their arms raised. They've yet to put them down. The guys to the right did not.
Karen McCarty, we're not saying that's their whole military. We're saying that's a good chunk of them.
Yeah, it's definitely not their whole military. But here's top brass right there. They just showed all those military generals right there with their arms
I was
raised.
looking at that. They all have you know, different awards on them. Different medals.
Yeah, in worst case scenario, they can track all this military back to wherever it's going. They can see the flow of it. They'll know where every bit of it is positioned. You know,
that's really crazy for them to do this right now.
Look at that. He's got a white AK. Did you see that?
Yeah. It's a lot of different regiments.
Look at that.
You know, Moscow does the same thing with their big parades, flexing their muscles with their military.
I want to see if they start parading their big equipment down the streets. That's what I want to see.
I was thinking that earlier.
This is obviously a massive military parade. This is more of a parading of the military than a dancing of our women and children and
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
These guys got mics already sticking up out of the sunroof or the back. So yeah, this is a parade with all the troops. With all the troops marching, I expect to see some kind of equipment rolled out. Sign of force. So it looks like they're riding around. What's that?
I was gonna say I see they don't have a shortage of German engineering there as far as motor vehicles.
Could you tell what it was? I couldn't tell what it was. It could have been a Cadillac. It could have been Mercedes.
I was thinking it was a Benz. I'm leaning more toward Mercedes Benz. There it goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Looks like generals rolling around saluting all the other groups.
보고를 받는 주요 각 제국 여러 군부대로부터 육해공군이라든가 제2포병이라든가 북한 이제 전략군으로 바꿨는데.
Seen several people make references of the reminding of him Hitler. Now this is in Pyongyang, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
오늘 모습에 참석하는 것 같습니다. 이 열병식 때마다 북한이 굉장히 새로운 용어들이 나오죠. 뭐 총폭탄이라든가 결사옹이 뭐 오래된 용어들입니다만 해서 그 김씨 일가에 대한 충성을 다지는 그런 모습.
Why do they have to have so many microphones in those limos?
I don't know. I guess the big question here at this point is obviously timing. I don't know. I really just do not see them trying to pull off a test at this point. Are they going to get this whole damn parade nuked? All right, there's some tanks.
Oh, shit. There they are.
Yeah. Yeah, by looking at this stuff here, I could see that this is not a country who's been under a serious embargo, like say Cuba. Look at Cuba and look at North
buildings,
Korea.
nicer rides, equipment.
Well, Pyongyang
is
right. Nice.
That's true. That is very true.
That's the land of the North Korean elite is Pyongyang.
Yeah. But I mean, still, look at their military equipment. Look at the tanks. Look at the limousines that they're riding in. You know, these are not vehicles that are made in North Korea.
Right. They trade. They sell their coal. They sell their stuff. They've got trade arrangements set up.
All right, there's some of the bigger
weapons.
There they go.
They're missile launchers.
Yep. But yeah, what a perfect opportunity for U.S. military, whoever else, to watch what they're doing and where they send back all their equipment. They'll know where they're all being housed. Everything. So what if they did a test right now? They felt like they were going to pull off the test right now. You think they dare them to try to attack this parade on live national television in front of the whole world?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think they'll do it. I think they're going to freeze up and they're going to wait till warships are turned around and heading back out to sea. But what I think that they're missing here is even if they stall out and they wait a month, it doesn't matter if the ships are there or not. I think they've got a plan in place to where they'll strike them from either Japan or South Korea, something of that nature, or from one of their subs. Just because the ships are leaving out of view doesn't mean that there isn't a sub out there lurking.
Yep.
That's
I
kind
can
of
see
what
a strike from South Korea. I can see that.
Yeah,
Maybe
so,
not a nuclear strike, but
right.
Some ground forces or something coming from
We were just dropping tomahawks in Syria. You know what I'm saying?
Moabs and Afghan.
Moabs and Afghan.
And here we are talking about Korea having tunnel systems underneath North Korea, and here we are dropping bunker busters on Afghan.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting that there was an earthquake there earlier. The date in Damascus right now, well, it's already the 15th. We're only 2 hours away from the 15th here on the East Coast, so it's definitely already the 15th over there. Yeah, I know it's blowing people's minds. Perfect setup. Here's all their troops. Here's all their equipment. I mean, perfect opportunity to wipe them up if that was the case. But I don't know if they'd want to do that to their image as they're trying to state they want to go a different means, that military is not the top option. What do you do if they load one up and they test it here today? You think the U.S. military would let them pull off a test and not do anything at this point? Turn around and leave? That'd be a big show of force. People have got to be nervous in there. Like, what has this dude got up his sleeve? They're probably praying in the back of their minds, do not pull a test today.
Like there's daddy and granddaddy.
Do not get us all nuked.
Yeah, you could tell they're related. They look just the same.
And we were supposed to have some kind of 3-hour gap. For those just tuning in, there's supposed to be some kind of 3-hour break this morning, but it looked like they just pushed right on through and went right on ahead with the parade. It's commencing. All the ceremonies have. There was no break in anything thus far. We've seen the generals come out and salute all the different brigades, all the different troops that they have set up here.
Maybe it was a break in the scheduled parade stuff for the unannounced military portion of the parade.
Good
That's
point.
what I'm thinking.
Which means that this could go on here for a couple more hours. Like this with the military part.
Yeah,
with all those red ribbons going up and down those buildings and everything, this looks like Germany, man.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Germany, but this square has always been here. They've done many of these parades here every year.
Oh, I know that part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it really is. Looking at it on television like this, it almost reminds you of the the World War II Olympic Games. You know what I mean? Like the craziness of it, the massive scale of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of trips in one spot, man.
Yeah, that's thousands. That's thousands of troops there. Can't even read this guy's title. Like, who are you?
Well, you couldn't hear what he was saying anyway because the announcer guy's talking over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's translating in another Asian language.
Oh, possibly. Yeah.
I don't believe it's South Korean. South Koreans can't even see this right now. It's blocked on all their channels.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Talk about censorship. They should still be free to see what's going on across the border. Why keep them in the damn dark?
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. The rules of other countries.
That's why it's important that we cover stuff like this. You know, not say I don't know if they have access to YouTube or not in South Korea. I have no idea.
Yeah, they do. Some of these streams are being kicked out on YouTube. We were talking the other night about them and the whole internet thing, and then they were saying that they had their own internet service set up.
No, they definitely do because when my sister-in-law was stationed there last year, she used to communicate with us through Hangouts and everything else. She used everything that we used here.
That's funny. Chaos Theory says the reporter looks like he's being held at gunpoint.
He doesn't look very happy.
He does.
He's sweating up a storm, dude. But I don't think he's the only one, man. It's like Dabu was saying a while ago. All these people in the back of their mind are just hoping they don't do something stupid.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's wanting to get nuked today or bombs dropped and all hell break loose. I've also come across some other information here in regards to Kushner, guys. Jared Kushner being tied to this Chabad Lubavitch Jewish cult, basically, that has 200 of the world's elite as its members. I'll be doing a video on that, dropping info on that to keep your eyes peeled, especially after everything we've come across tonight. I want to do some digging and some research and get everything together before I drop another big video on him, because this guy's in a weird position. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of new updates coming out of this. I mean, we're watching what's going on here. And I really don't think that we're going to see anything big today. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
But it's me wanting
Thank you, Danny.
What's that?
Danny just sent me a screenshot of a Periscope search of North Korea, and apparently there's been nine streams that came out of Pyongyang this morning. I'm not seeing any reds based on that picture, but somebody could go live at any time in Pyongyang. There's a few people streaming from there. I'm gonna go check it out now.
Yeah, it looks like Casey had to dip out. Not sure where.
Night, Casey.
Go ahead.
I was just saying good night, Casey, if you can hear me. Yeah, there we go. 5 and 2, 7 and 3.
So coming up on 10 o'clock here now. What's up, Black Zionist? Laughing my ass off. Tell Dabu what's up. Tell it. See all y'all going off about Kushner. Yeah, something up with this creepy dude. All his connections. We're going to continue to dig on him. And
yeah, it's so crazy, right? 666 Fifth Avenue was the same building company that did the World Trade Centers. That's nuts.
Well, that just seeing that is what caught my attention, and then now we're going down the rabbit hole, finding out who this guy is, who's related to, their backing, the control, the connections, the whole nine.
And just last week, Fire Kushner was top trendy.
Right. And he's been the one tasked with bringing what? Peace?
Peace to the Middle East. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Of all people.
And then, you know, his whole family history is even more interesting.
Apparently, they're going to present 2 land-based solid propellant missiles in the parade. I'm going to follow that and see where that originated from. But
who's this guy? They're carrying somebody off in cuffs
on live TV in the parade. This must not be part of the South Korean parade. I mean, the North Korean parade.
Oh, check that out.
We have an execution today. Is this what they're doing? Is this a public execution? I'm just kidding.
What?
I get people like, what?
If we can read, we would know what was going on.
Yeah, it's where it pays to be able to know how to read other languages. I mean, there's a ton of them out there.
Yeah, to those of you saying he's the Antichrist, I've seen that said before about Jared Kushner.
Yeah, and we found out tonight that he's being backed by George Soros. He gave him $250 million. So there's a huge connection. No more Trump is against Soros. Trump's going to go after Soros. Any of that crap.
Oh yeah, that's out the window.
They're in bed, and we've step by step. People are going to start to see this bigger picture and wonder why Hillary's not in prison and he's dropping bombs in other countries. Yeah, it comes back to the same circle, same ring, same hand. Pulls off all these events. We're at a tense time. I ain't gonna lie. I almost feel like how they're doing this, they're gonna wait for things to die down. It's kind of like they're choosing to strike right when the attention falls off of things. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they struck Assad again out of nowhere. But you have to remember the whole thing with striking Assad, they were using the excuse of the whole chemical attack. What they were saying was sarin gas, which checked out not to be at all, and all that.
I also want to say, everybody, you know, just keep good vibes. Yeah, this stuff is all stressful times and everything, but just keep good vibes. Don't let yourself be surrounded by negative energy.
Yeah, I'm going to switch off that feed now.
Yeah, you can't focus on the negative right now. It's important to, you know, to pay attention when it's time to pay attention, but then to be able to back off. Enjoy your family and your friends. It's beautiful weather outside.
Yeah, finally, after this long winter.
Mm-hmm. It's so nice today.
Wait, we had winter?
Yeah.
No, that's that Florida
Mr.
life.
Down south over here. That's right.
Wait. Did winter go by already? I missed us. Must have missed us. Darn it.
it'd definitely be interesting to see any big steps or moves made by Kushner here on the world stage in terms of peace, if that's what he's been tasked with. Whatever comes about with that. With this whole Trump administration, the way that he's been flip-flopping on all this stuff, turning on his base, it almost seems like they're trying to kick up chaos right there. I mean, what happens if he continues that trend?
D, did you see that tweet I just sent you?
I don't know, but TN Empire, you just asked, who are these fools? You just found your way on my channel. Just check the record. What's up?
So for those who weren't here earlier, Jared Kushner's advice is to cover the Middle East, Israel, government partnerships with private sector, and matters involving free trade. That's what he's tasked with.
Yeah. So that's some of the latest here, guys. We've been covering this for a couple hours now. I really don't got the feeling that anything big's going to come of this here. And I could be wrong. Wake up tomorrow morning and stuff pop off. I just don't feel like they're that stupid at this point. It's not saying they're smart, but I just don't think with guns pointed on them right now that making any moves with the big test that's going to prove anything. I think they've proven 5 times before with these tests that they can do it. I think it would be stupid to try to do it with this much firepower around them, surrounding them. But then again, there could always be more to it. Like I said, don't let this stuff ruin your day out there. We try to stay on top of this the best we can. People need to enjoy their lives. And I appreciate everyone out there that sends love and support. It's appreciated. Everyone out there that watches our back, shares this information.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up button, guys. We got a lot of people in here. All night we've had a lot of people, 2,500 people and 700 thumbs up. So help us out, man. Hit that thumbs up. It's nice to see that go up.
Yeah,
That's
easy
best
way to support
right
the
there.
channel. Easy way.
Amen.
Yeah, and make sure
And
you're
all that
subbed up.
is showing love.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that for real. Yeah, as far as being in the streets coverage and everything else with us, I mean, it's kind of go with the flow. I don't know where you're going to see any of us next. I mean, it's kind of, if something pops off and one of us are in close proximity, we try to cover it. Everyone's kind of got the same attitude toward it. You know, get to what places they can, when they can, to cover things when they pop off. Like I said, tomorrow at Berkeley, there's supposed to be a big event. Of course, we're not going to have anyone down there to cover that, but eyes peeled for that event because between 11 and 2, things could get a little crazy. Last time, chaos in the streets. Cops were just standing inside of a building while people were getting pummeled with sticks. And
yeah, it was bad. That was when they set the what is it? The place on fire? What, Starbucks?
I believe. Yes.
Went in and literally had a riot inside the Starbucks. That was crazy. Lee, no, there's not tomorrow. Tomorrow there's supposed to be stuff popping off at Berkeley. We'll see what happens. But if anybody lives in California and enjoys going out and live streaming, make sure you get a hold of Dabu or myself or Chico or
hit up
any
one
of
of
us.
these guys, because I won't around that time frame. I won't be on deck to do any live streaming. So,
right. Well, I just mean in general. I mean, if anybody wants to, show their support with Underground World News or iCitizen News, make sure you get a hold of us, and we can help you make sure that your stream gets to a spot to maximize the amount of views that we can help you get. It's all about sharing information. That's why we go on the streets. That's why we try to do it when we can. So if anybody's in Cali and wants to go out and shoot some stuff, let us know.
For sure, it would be much appreciated.
Oh yeah.
All my stuff is at I'm Mike Robertson. Everything. My Twitter, my YouTube, You know, I do a show every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. You guys should check it out. And then the YouTube page is at I'm Mike Robertson. So same thing on Twitter. Let us know what's up.
You still with us there, ToBeFree?
Yes, I'm still here. And just to reiterate too, you know, make sure everybody stays balanced, man. Balance is key.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Very true. Very true. With all the negative stuff we deal with on a daily basis, you got to find some positive things out there to vibe with, and it can leave your head spinning when having to deal with this crap all day long.
It's very true, bro. Very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know
also
go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I also want to say to anybody who's fasting today, I feel your pain. I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah, dude, you only got an hour and 49 minutes left.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have Thanksgiving dinner at midnight.
Yeah, he's gonna cook a whole meal.
Yeah, it's going down. It's going down at my house. I'm not the only one here that's ready to eat at midnight.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. Finally get in the door.
Yeah, I was trying to set up the stuff. I was able to go live with the got the stuff on iCitizen right now with the North Korea stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been monitoring it for a while, a couple of hours actually.
Yeah, right now they're playing. They've got the live footage of the building that Jim Kong, whatever the heck his name is. I'm not even gonna say
Jim Kong.
I've said it too many times in the past week. Whatever the guy's name is, North Korea dictator guy,
Kim Jong-un.
He's there with his top generals, and one of his generals is giving a speech. So that's right over on the iCitizen YouTube channel.
Yeah, guys, make sure to bookmark that, check that out. They're always carrying on streams when I shut down. They're often going live or vice versa. That's why I say make sure you're subbed to all these guys.
Almost all of us do a scheduled show every week too.
Yeah, some of us are just going live whenever. I mean, it just depends on the events and what all's popping off.
That's it.
And also our schedules too.
Yeah. The things have changed. I mean, because Eric used to run the Sunday shows, and then, with his schedule, he switched things up. And, like I said, a lot of people just going live whenever. I mean, what do you got there, Chico, in terms of the night you're trying to aim for on a solid basis?
I'm doing Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I forget sometimes, man. You sent me a link the other night, and I was just so busy I couldn't even jump in.
It's all good, man. I understand. Yeah, it happens, bro.
But as you can see, we're trying to keep something going. Somebody stepping up to the plate here each night, try to go live, provide a chat for you guys, somewhere for you guys to hang out, keep information flowing, just have some good convo.
Yeah, man. And me and Chico and Eric have been doing a show on Tuesdays called Tech Talk. We've been doing it specifically about technology. That's a pretty fun one to check out too.
I agree. Very interesting every week.
Yeah, also for Sundays, I work very weird schedules for Saturday nights and Sundays. So I'm free in the daytime this Sunday. If I wake up in time, there will be a Truth Lounge. I really want to do a Truth Lounge. And if so, it'll be at like 3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Cool.
Good update there. Yeah. AB, Casey had to bounce. He was in here with us earlier. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, he was here earlier. He had to bounce. We were going to talk about a few other things in terms of the whole platform and the censorship that's going on. I put out a video earlier about Facebook implementing their new system of flagging real news as fake news. The censorship out here on the platform. I have a lot of people hitting me up with the emails, asking me, what's the next big event you guys look to cover? You got anything on the slate? And right now, it's kind of at the drawing board. With everything that's been going on with YouTube, it's kind of throwing a wrench into any other plans. Just trying to roll with the punches here on YouTube. Yeah, I definitely appreciate the love and support that comes in from all you guys out there. I mean, in every way. Prayers when we're in the field, I can't stress that enough. Prayers are key when you're out there. When you're running on nothing but energy. See, people don't realize this until you're out there and you're in a crazy situation. The adrenaline's pumping, things banging, going off. You're on the front lines. It's real. It's real. That's why I say send prayers out here to people around the globe. There's people in other countries that need it. You can't just turn a cheek. You have to remember there's others out there suffering at the hands of this damn war machine every day, every day, every day. So a much love to all of you out there that can hear my voice. And, I see somebody out there says, go to sleep, sheep. Well, we're trying to wake the sheep from their slumber. That's the battle. There's going to be people around every corner that still call things conspiracy theories. There's going to be non-believers in things everywhere you go. But as long as you continue to carry the torch of truth and get it out there, talking at the kitchen table about this stuff, being real about things, that's what you need to do. You need to have discussion with your peers and talk about these things, not turn a cheek. People have been turning a cheek to things for too long. People need to extend the olive branch and help others the best they can. If someone's in a position to help someone in a certain way, you should do it. And I know not everyone is, got the means to do everything to help everyone in every way, but what goes around comes around. That's for real. Karma's real. And we need some kind of massive change the flow of this energy here on Earth, away from all this bad karma, all this bad energy that they like to harness with their obelisks and their rituals. And so, yeah, shout outs to all you guys. Much love. You guys got anything out there before I start to wind this down here for the evening?
If we're winding it down, I'll throw the link to that live stream inside the chat.
Yeah, go for that. Yeah, and I've had people asking in terms of how to support us and this and that, and people asked about the super chat. And I'll say it again. With the super chat, 70% goes to the people in the channel, 30 goes to Google. These people keep asking, and I don't know where you're going to see us next. To be honest with you, I don't know where you're going to see me. I don't know the next big event. And yeah, for those that want to do something and make a contribution to me, there's the link. If you're going to make it count instead of going through the super chat. And
PayPal is always better than the super chat, guys who listen, guys and
well,
girls.
I figure if people are going to sit there and they're going to want to try to throw something, funds my way to make something happen, which is truly appreciated, the smartest way to go is where the B system's not getting
exactly. I 100% agree.
Yeah, and we've been pitching around the idea of what to do from here because of everything that's happened on YouTube, and I've seen other channels out there picking up different methods of how to go about things. But right now, I'm just staying to the grindstone and doing everything I can. I don't have the means to get to all these other places and do some of these other things and be at these places. None of us do. We've always been in this position, and we've tried big things to raise money like Kickstarters and everything else, do stuff big, and it didn't happen. All we could do is try. And it's no secret. Y'all broke out there too. Y'all come from the gutter like we do. I get it. It is so it's in beyond that on a daily basis. If there's any thanks that I can send out the farthest, it's the fact that people sit out there and fight the fight. When I see people sharing stuff on Twitter, when I see them sharing the YouTube videos and getting active, when I get comments from people and emails that say, hey, a year ago, I wasn't even commenting on channels. But then I grew the gonads to start commenting. Then I got a Twitter account. Then I started making videos. They started talking. And I love hearing the feedback of people that have awakened, that have stepping out of a shell, so to speak, that come out of the shadows and that are fighting the fight. That could be any one of you out there, anyone that's got a channel, anyone that wants to fight the fight and carry the torch, man. I love seeing that on the daily. You know, if I stop seeing that, that's when it will all seem lost to me. Why do you think I sit out here and the other guys do too on a daily, grinding on this? We do it to get it out to you guys. And we're not going to make it past that ring, like I said before, unless you guys continue sharing and getting it out there. And also hit the little gearbox or the bell next to the subscribe button and check that you want to get notifications by email for everyone's channels here, or else you will not get them. And yeah, AJ is a shill. I don't know why you got to keep saying it. I thought it was known. Yeah, guys, it's been our coverage here on Friday night along Underground World News Live. Of course, we have a lot of attention on North Korea. Eric dropped a link if you guys want to venture over to that stream. Continue watching over there. I'll give this here another 9 minutes and we'll shut it down.
I just dropped that link one more time as well.
Shut it down here about 10:30. Once again, give a shout out to everybody out there. USN, I see you. Dave Sasson, Morgana, John Smith, Heidi, Jim, Bill, Amanda, John Snow, Fourth Quarter, Metal Clown, Jade Smith, Crystal Pepsi, Pepsi Free, Jimbo Jones, Ominous Maximus, Trina, Platinum, I think it was Platinum Pig, Morgan Rose, Justy Burger, Tim, John, Lingua, Always, SJ, Calitron, Chris Cook, Declan, John, V, Green, Epic, Danny, Morgana, Lee, J Records, Curtis, Tim, USM, Damn, Fitz, Free, Carl, James, CB, Joshua, Harambe, Get Money Jones, Hart Miller, Paul Panda, Jay Bailey, KJ, Lorraine, Jenna, Wayne, Blue, Camo, Chiefs, Ricky, Thunder, Keeping It For Real, Chris, James, Beyond the Eye, trying to hit as many as I can, Rogue, Liz, Mr. Anderson, much love, Jose, Q City, Josie, Fourth, Damn, Epic, Mimo, all y'all out there. It's when it gets to burning. Blurry,
there it goes.
Trina,
Off to the races.
Always. Yeah.
Can I say one thing really quick?
Yeah.
The Bright Star 8, you're saying that you're banned. Only way you would be banned if
Sometimes that accidents do happen. We'll say that.
But do you mean on my channel or do you mean on this channel? That's what I'm trying to say. You're confusing me on that one.
Well,
not you. I'm talking about him.
Right.
Yeah. Got to specify that.
And it happens sometimes that people accidentally get it. But look, we try our best out here to keep things on the up and up and free flowing. We just ask that people don't use racism, in attacking people, threatening people's lives, and that's it. Everyone's free to their opinion. And look at that. Harambe, after I gave you a shout out, he says, look at these stupid freaking American N-bomb. Really?
Wait, Harambe said that?
Harambe, yeah.
Dang, we see how it is, Harambe.
Oh, I went to block him and it says unblock. It means somebody either got him before me or we got someone that's blocked. Nope. Lee got him.
Yeah, Lee Stewie. Click, click, pow.
Lee. Yeah, she keeps those guns blazing.
That's right.
Yeah, guys. Also, bookmark undergroundworldnews.com. It's my website. Throughout this next year, going to be trying to do things to reorganize that and switch things over to there. It's not going to be nothing overnight. A salute back at you. But yeah, we've got to do something here in terms of the censorship, the reach, the whole nine, and keeping this thing going. We've got to find out a way. And only thing I know to do is utilize what I've got at my disposal, and that's the website. And it's all we've got here besides this platform. And if they want to put a lid on us, what can we do? So check me out on VidMe as well if you're over there. The Underground World News on Facebook, at Dabu7 on Twitter. It seems some other people don't know I've got 2 YouTube channels. I do have another YouTube channel, Dabu777.
You do?
I'm uploading daily on it, yes. And actually, I got a third called J Knight, which I don't utilize, but yeah, it's the super backup. But yeah, just like Eric's got Erick M, Erick M2. You know, you have to roll with a backup out here. Once you get to a certain
I'm not advertising the Erick M3 yet.
Backup for your backup?
Yeah, so sometimes you need it. Yeah. When you're out here thick in the game, you do. It's like a war front, dude. You have to have different modes of attack.
Get a stupid copyright one day on one channel, throw up the live stream on the next channel the next day.
Right. And that's how I've learned to operate. It's why I've got both channels, primarily because of that, being able to dodge all the BS. But yeah, guys, we're going to get ready to shut it down here for tonight. I want to thank everyone that tuned in, everyone that watches afterward. Hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll still be on top of things here around the clock. Good looking out. Lee just dropped the link to the other channel. It's appreciated. And yeah, we're going to shut it down here for the night. You guys got any shout outs you want to give here before we go?
Just love each other. That's all.
I love you, Mom. If you're listening, I love you.
And Chico loves you, Mom.
I was just kidding. She's not listening.
You're not kidding.
I know I love my mom, but yeah, she's not listening.
Right. Love your moms. Send dad a card on Father's Day. And love your neighbor.
And
it's true. And I mean,
God bless everybody, for sure. For real. All my brothers and sisters, God bless you.
Definitely. And like I said, when the stream shuts down, Eric just dropped the link over to another stream. Cats want to hang out somewhere, go over there, check it out. Hang out over there and keep up with the current events. Anything pops off, they'll be on it. Anything major pops off, you guys know. We'll get that information out there. And a thank you once again to everyone out there that sends me info at my email at dabu7yahoo.com. It's appreciated. Try to get as much out as I can. And get out there and enjoy life, man. Enjoy the weekend, weather, family, friends, all that good stuff. And unless the Lord does return here in the coming 7 days, we will see you next time here on Underground World News Live. This has been Dabu7 and the crew signing off. Much love, y'all. And this is Illuminati.